This your favorite blonde girl.
And I'm back.
You know blondes have more fun. This be connected by hey. Oh
Take
shit.
something. Need a side hustle.
Why you making trouble? I'm not playing with the rock.
You just want level.
Boss man with the box, we just playing trucks. Man, I'm on my grind.
Don't believe in luck.
Why you starting shit?
Trying to make me quit.
I'm just trying to get into it, that's what makes me rich. I'm just...
Well, how are you going to get rich making music? Well, not many people do. There's a lot of people, though, enough inspiration out there to make you want to do your music, want to promote yourself. So if you're on your grind and you're producing music and you're, maybe you're a great singer, maybe you're great at lyrics, and you put all of that together, well, how are you going to get heard? That's the main thing now. If you're not heard, then it doesn't do you very much good to produce, maybe even 5 outstanding music videos, because unless you have the good fortune for them to go viral, because you were an exquisite producer, director, editor, all of these things, right? There's no guarantee that it's going to get heard or going to get seen. So how can you be more productive and how can you do more? Now, this is not just for a singer, a songwriter, but, I've got my little Denon Prime Go unit over here. And even if you're a DJ, DJs, singers, all of us have to stick together these days. So even DJs nowadays are expected to produce. They're expected to do all kinds of, sound engineering and all of these things. So you're actually creating new music. You're creating mixes. You're creating a vibe that, is your brand. So how do you brand yourself? What's important to know? That's what I'm going to talk about today. So I hope that you'll enjoy this series. This is part 2. I'm going to make it 3 parts. And then next week we'll listen to the 3rd part. But this week, branding is on my mind. And I wanted to let you know about some of the branding that I personally believe in and I personally invest in. So as a singer, there's lots and lots of singers out there. Lots of you who want to be like your icon or your inspiration. It could be country western, it could be Glenn Campbell, it could be, something in K-pop, it could be somebody over there in rap. We could go on and on, right? But just think of your inspiration, your iconic figure. How did they get to where they got? Who helped them? How did they get out there? And it's not always a record label. And today the record labels and those companies only want to invest smart, and you can't blame them. They can't invest in everybody. So they want to invest in those people who work hard, produce the best music, or have the biggest following, have the biggest return on their investment. And let me tell you, when you go in to look at talking to a record label, you got to have more than a great beat and a great smile or great talent. Marketing, branding is where it's at. And you don't even really have to be that fabulous of a singer, but you do have to have some catchy lyrics, and you do have to be able to brand yourself, and you have to be able to get following. You have to have numbers. So 3 of the things that I really invest in right now is SEO, that's search engine optimization, SEM, search engine marketing, and playlisting. So in order to be heard, You have to be on a playlist. If you make music and it's fabulous, but nobody plays it, then people aren't going to hear it on the radio. It's not going to be on iHeartRadio, let's face it, unless you personally know somebody on iHeartRadio, excuse me, and you get in a car and you go around and talk to all the radio stations and you get interviewed for some reason. Why would they play your music if you're unknown? So you have to get on a playlist, and you have to be very careful of who you talk to for playlisting. So a lot of us have found out the hard way, and I did this too. I made the same mistake, so don't feel bad if you did this. But you know, you get emails like, I'm going to just call one out, Playlist Booker, and they give you all this fabulous information and say that they're partnered with, Spotify, but turns out they're not. So you can't really depend on what you're reading. So even though a company may say that they are sanctioned or supported or in alignment with Spotify terms and conditions, that's not really true. But I thought they were legit, and they promised great playlisting, and they promised, 200,000-300,000 streams on major playlists. And, I signed up for it along with a bunch of other people. Well, guess what happened? Spotify goes in, Spotify absolutely tracks, manages, measures, and gives you analytics on who's playing your music, like city, country, state, whatever. They track it down to that level. They can tell you male, female. They can tell you age demographics. And that's what you want. I mean, these are important metrics so that you know that you're hitting your target audience with the music you're producing and putting all your heart and soul into. So, Playlist Booker started delivering results, and then Spotify came in and said to DistroKid, who was the distributor I was using, and I'm going to talk about distribution next in series 3 of my episodes here. But they came back and they said, I'm sorry, we're going to have to take your song down because you're using robotics and it's jamming the playlist, and not real people are listening because it's hitting all of these robotic situations. So I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was possible. Then I find out that Playlist Booker is offshore on some island, someplace in this world. And, it's like the long arm of the law trying to get to these people. But American Express can get to anybody because they can cut people off. So, thank you, American Express. And thank you, Spotify, for educating me and helping me. And thank you, DistroKid, for telling me that, you have to look and be very careful at who is a legitimate company that legitimately, organically grows your fan base by playlisting your music on appropriate playlists to the right demographic, and they give you the organic growth you're looking for so that you can develop that one-to-one relationship with your fan base. So, who would I recommend? Well, number one, I recommend AMW. They are a fantastic company. They're out of Los Angeles. They have many offices, but they have one predominantly in the United States in Los Angeles and one in New York. But they are excellent, and they're like a one-stop shop. If you're an artist and you want branding, you want marketing, you want styling, they've got it. Now, is it cheap? No, not cheap. But here's the thing. You can choose from playlisting from, I think it's $250 a month to 500 to 1,000, and it goes up. And you may say, oh my gosh, that's really expensive. Well, sort of. So if you spend time, money, and your emotion making and producing a song, and maybe even a music video to go with it, and a lyric music video, and nobody hears it, to me, that's expensive. That's the worst case scenario. You've put time, money, and effort into it. You're all excited, but it's going nowhere. That's not good. So, in order to be able to get people to listen to your music and stream it, you're going to have to go to a reputable playlist vendor and get that partner signed up and make sure that they're legitimate. Make sure that they're based in the United States, where you can actually see where they're located, talk to real people, and legitimately see what they've done for other clients. AMW has clients, many A-list artists. They also take care of some of the biggest corporations in the world. So these are all brands that you know and trust and follow. And I personally have had very good results from them. So I highly recommend them. I also recommend DistroKid has now playlist stuff that they support emerging artists with. It's not as robust, or it doesn't deliver the same results in, like an AMW. It's more of a starter out kind of thing. But nevertheless, they do offer something. It is reputable, and I think it's great. So that's another step forward. Now, SEO and SEM work hand in hand with playlisting. So search engine optimization and search engine marketing help you to be found. So let's say you got something playing, I don't know, on a playlist, and somebody's like driving in their car, they're vibing out with friends at a party, and they hear a song and they're like, who is that? Oh, it's Debra D. It's Debra Danielsen. Well, let me go look and see about her. So they take their phone out or their devices, whatever they have, and they look up, Google it, search it, Debra Danielsen music, let's say. So boom, all of this stuff starts popping up. So Spotify now offers, thank you Spotify, search engine optimization and search engine marketing, very specific to music. It gives artists their own page with media news, entertainment. So you have your own artist page. If you're worried about having a website, you've got that. And it's made on this one nice page where you can do a write-up about yourself. Let your fans know, hey, this is who I am. This is my brand. This is what I stand for. My music comes from my personal experiences or my family relationships, whatever. But that gives your, anybody who Googles you, fans, potential fans, people who are interested in your music, it gives them a place to go to learn about you. Since they can't pick up the phone and call you, it's like, hey, what are you about? So I would highly recommend Spotify, their new services that they have. Get an artist page on Spotify and sign up for their SEO, SEM services. Now, what do those cost? You're looking at least $1,500 to get going on that for 90 days. So when you start putting these things together, a playlist and an SEO or SEM campaign, and you start stacking those, now you know a little bit about what a record label does for an artist to promote you. On average, I would say minimum per song, a record label spends $30,000 on promotion or branding for a song just to get you out there, just to get you heard, and just to get you playlisted and to get things rolling in the right direction. So when you think about that, I don't tell you that to discourage you. I tell you that to say, look, let's be realistic. Let's brand ourselves. Let's promote ourselves. Let's get your artist page up. Let's get your if you can't do a website, then get an SEO opportunity going with Spotify or AMW. Both have fantastic programs. AMW is a little bit more robust than the Spotify, but the Spotify is more affordable, and you get great results, and you're getting out there, and people can Google you, they can find your music, and just be making sure that your brand tells the story about who you are so people can relate to you. Well, I hope this has been helpful to you, whether you're a DJ, an aspiring DJ, a singer, songwriter, whatever. If you want to be seen, if you want to be heard, branding is so important. So stick with me on our next episode. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about being our own boss and how we can distribute our music. What are the best platforms to distribute on? So you can get on your grind and make it profitable. Until next time, thanks for watching Debra D and how to do and promote your music.